All right, Bengals Genius here with a special guest star. I'm excited to get this dude because he knows what he's talking about. He really gets in depth on offensive line breakdowns, and that is our number one concern going into this season. I'd like to welcome Parker Blake. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm counting down. I'm so excited to go to this game Sunday. I cannot wait. It's all lining up, right?
I know I'm jealous about everybody that gets to go.
Oh,
It's going to be awesome. That's going to be electric.
yeah, and it's funny. I found out that the Bengals are crediting your account because of the Bills Monday night game. I didn't even think that was a possibility. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's working out.
No, it was great to
As we
hear,
know,
man.
Lamar Jackson's going to be out for this game, but you never know what's going to happen. So as you probably already know, we came from really one play away from winning that Super Bowl last year. If they would have only could have blocked, so with the whole offensive line upgrade, but now we got the injuries. I wanted to go in depth with you because you know what you're talking about. How is our offensive line looking going into the playoffs this year?
Yeah, no, the biggest question mark is obviously Sharping. And I haven't really watched his film. I haven't really gotten into his stuff when he was in Houston. Hasn't played much this year besides some of the reps at tight end and those jumbo packages. But I mean, Adeniji at tackle, I think looks better than Collins did all season. So I mean, that's an upgrade personally, in my opinion.
How's this grade looking?
So I graded Adeniji out. I mean, his pass pro grade was like in the 70s. It was like one of the best ones of the week. It was like 69.3. And I really what it came down to was he doesn't stick with his guy very well in the sense that he kind of oversets, gives up that inside, gets beat on counters, but opposed to Lyle kind of getting beat around the edge and falling and chasing, Adeniji can move his feet. And so once he gets hands on, it's pretty locked up, but he kind of struggles to get his hands on dudes every now and then.
But you think he's an upgrade over Collins, huh?
Oh, 100%, especially in the pass game where especially the teams are looking to play in the playoffs after this week. We're going to be passing the ball a lot, and Adeniji's a much better pass protector. I think Collins is better run blocking, but not by much. So, I mean, I'll take the upgrade in the pass protection.
That's crazy. I would not have guessed that. So how Kappa, you think he's going to, he seems like the kind of guy, he seems like Pollock's definition of a glass eater. Has he been the highest graded Bengal offensive lineman so far this season?
So I show Karras as being the highest graded, and I got Kappa as number 2. And I think that just comes down to consistency. I think even Karras would say he's more consistent than Kappa. But Kappa's highs are he's got some of the top grades of the season, just game by game on my chart. And he contributes a lot. Like I've always said, I think he struggles at the second level, like blocking linebackers. But he's locked down in pass protection. He gets great movement in the run game. Like he was an awesome addition. We're going to miss him for sure. Sharping is not going to bring that level of intensity to the game, but I'm hoping
Kappa, I think Kappa is going to return at some point. I think he might return next week, depending on who we play.
The only report that I've seen with a timeline was that the earliest he could come back was the Super Bowl. But I just have my fingers crossed that he wants to play the Bills. So,
no
kidding.
Hoping. Yeah, man, I didn't hear that, so I'm hoping that gets squared away. So how's Volson, man? Volson, it seemed like he started off a little shaky, but I haven't heard, it seems like I don't hear anything about that left guard, and no news is good news.
No, for sure. I was about to say, no news on the O-line is the best news you can get. I think he looks really good. I had some concerns watching his college tape coming into the year, and it looks like he got a lot of those minor issues squared away really quick, especially for a rookie. 4th round rookie. I think he's a starting caliber player in my eyes. And I think it shows every Sunday, or I guess primetime games, but I think it shows well. He plays well. He moves his feet well. I think he can generate a lot of movement in the run game as well. But I kind of said on Twitter a little bit this week, but I think Frank's been working with him to get more patient. He was really aggressive coming out of the gate. And that was one of my biggest cons that I talked a lot about early in the season, where he kind of got hand heavy when lean on guys and just really be over aggressive. And he's improved a lot in that area, but now it kind of feels like he's gotten a little too patient. But I mean, overall, I think he looks really good, and I'm really glad that we found him late.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So last week, it seemed like both teams were going a little bit vanilla. How do you expect Baltimore to attack the Bengals O-line this week?
If I was them, I'm still stunting. The whole group, as the whole O-line has struggled against stunts a lot this year, especially simulated pressures. Just walking linebackers up, bailing them out. And I think especially with Sharping being in, Adeniji being in, Volson being a rookie, I think if they try to confuse them as much as possible, that's going to be their best way to attack the O-line as a whole.
Now,
I would
how did
honestly put
Sharping
emphasis. What's up?
how'd Sharping look last week against Baltimore?
I think he looked good. He's got a lot of good length. I mean, he's going to be the biggest guy in the group on the field. I think he uses his length really well. He moves his feet really well as well. Like I said, I need to see more tape on him. A lot of people want me to compare him to Kappa, and I can't compare him to Kappa off of 14 reps. So
Yeah. So do you think, since the stunts are the weak point for the Bengals, do you think Baltimore probably held back on stunts last week, and you can expect to see a lot of that on Sunday?
I don't see them. They don't like to do a lot of stunts with their D line. They like to bring a lot of blitzes, which is what I'd expect to see coming in. And if I'm them, I'm trying to do a lot of cross dog stuff on the interior and try and attack Sharping, attack Bolson, even if it is just blitzing Roquan or twisting with Calais. But I don't know. Their defense has never really impressed me. They have some good guys. They got some good players in that box, but they don't do a lot of funky stuff. They show pressure and they bail out of it, and that's about it. So I'm hoping that the vanilla last week was actually their full defense, but if I expect a change, that's what the change would be.
Now, to flip it around, what do you expect us to do against their offensive line?
I I honestly, I don't think we need to do anything special this game defensively. I think just matchup on matchup, the Bengals D line is much better than the Ravens O line. Some might consider that a hot take. I don't. I think DJ's going to handle his own. I think we can get pressure in the pass game. I mean, we have a fully healthy defense for the first time. Well, minus some DBs, but just especially on the front, we're fully healthy for the first time in a while. I know we got Trey with his broken wrist, but I think if you watch the games, you can forget about that pretty easily because he actually was very limited reps wise last week. And I expect that to change a little bit, but I honestly didn't even notice. I think the backups are stepping up really well and we're still getting pressure. And whatever quarterback ends up out there, I think is going to be in for a long day.
Any word on who they're leaning towards?
The latest I've heard is Huntley. I'm not worried about either of them. I don't see them starting a guy in his second ever start in the NFL in a playoff game, especially. Yeah, if they don't go with Huntley, it's because he's hurt in pregame. But I honestly don't think we'll hear anything until then.
Yeah, I can't see us losing this game. I think it's going to be, people are going to be going insane. Sunday night, a lot of people got Monday off work, and the place is going to be electric, man. And you heard what Joe Burrow said about how fired up the crowd was before the game on Monday night, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's going to be great. I didn't want to look ahead, but since I got you on here, how in the world are the Bills and us not having a coin playing in a neutral site?
I don't know. I really thought that'd be the outcome. And I think a lot of people have talked about it now, but I've ranted to my fiance about, which I'm sure she loved, but I don't understand why that game isn't at least a coin flip or a neutral site. I mean, it feels like they gave the Bills a half win and us a half loss, opposed to a true
no doubt about it. It's it seems to me like they're nudging, like they want the Bills in the Super Bowl.
It feels like they want the Bills Chiefs AFC and they don't really care what comes out of it. They just want as even as they can get for those two teams. And I'm like, man, it's really going to be unfortunate when the Bengals have to spoil it all. But
there's no doubt about it, man. What a chip they provided for Joe Burrow and the boys. Not just Joe Burrow.
Exactly what they needed.
Yeah, it really did work out good, because it's like they did the right thing, they're being, I keep trying to find a good analogy for it, but if you hook someone up with a favor, it's kind of like the polite thing, and it's like, if you're going to pay the bill and all of a sudden, oh, you're paying, oh, let me get some more champagne on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. No, I don't understand it at all. And I agree with a lot of people that have been saying that it really sets the precedent for something like that happens in the future. Like the NFL wants you to play the game. which is very frustrating to hear. But again, at the end of the day, like they care about what they care about. We all know what that is. So
Yeah. Could you imagine though if Zach Taylor and they pressed it? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all right, come on, we're just gonna play the game here. You know what I mean? So
no, if Zach Taylor would have forced the forfeit out of the Bills, that would have been a whole. Bengals would have been the bad guy. Everyone
he would have been crucified.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they played it the right way, so
Sure.
that was good. But you expect us to get back to the Super Bowl this year?
I don't see why when our offensive line was our weakest link and now it's upgraded and that was kind of the only weak spot in that game, why they wouldn't.
Man,
We've beaten the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I feel confident that we can beat the Bills wherever we play them because I mean, a lot of people have been saying it, but I was at the game and it felt like we were about to put it on them. I know there's the whole, well, the Bills aren't very good in the first quarter. They're a second half team. And I'm like, the energy in the stadium and the way the game was going, like that felt like it was about to be.
Joe was dicing them up. Oh, you were at the game though?
I was, yeah, that was the first game I ever had in Cincinnati. I ever went to.
Oh, well, at least it was memorable, you know.
Oh,
you're gonna make it.
But like even pregame at that, like everyone was locked in. Like that was gonna be, it felt like Joe was about to have a night.
Oh, he was good. Yeah. And that's gonna be great too, because Buffalo does they definitely have some holes in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that great of a pass rush. And actually they're weak against the run.
Yep.
I don't understand really. I mean, because the Bengals and the Bills are both small market teams. I don't know why the NFL is in love with the Bills, but clearly they are, you know?
Well, no, and it's like it's the whole, well, they have Josh Allen, but why would the NFL not love Joe Burrow? I mean, he's a very marketable guy himself.
I don't know.
Like,
man.
I don't understand why they favor the Bills, but that is what I get. I don't even know. Because I would say it's the AFC East thing, but they don't like the Dolphins either. But I don't know.
Yeah. But it's weird how these are professional NFL players, and I just don't think it's going to go exactly according to their script, however they want to see it, you know, because I could see, I think Jacksonville might surprise the Chiefs. Well, hold on. I think Jacksonville or the Chargers could surprise the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to suffer from that Brittany Mahomes curse where she sprayed all the poor people with champagne.
Yeah,
so, yeah, we're gonna get her rattled up, get her nagging at Pat Mahomes. So, but it's gonna be an exciting time. I'm so excited that it's finally here. It felt like the whole season was like a precursor to the playoffs.
No, for sure. I mean, that's like the first time that we've been able to feel like, oh, we'll just get to the playoffs and we'll start playing then. And like it's even, and I honestly I appreciated like how the NFL handled all the stuff post the Bills game purely because now the Bengals have finished on an 8-0 win streak. And everyone was worried about, oh, well, that means we're gonna have to win 12 straight to win the Super Bowl. And now we kind of got a little break there. We got a weird game against the Ravens that felt like a tune-up game. And now we got a brand new fresh chip on our shoulder to run through for 4 weeks. So I mean, this team's gonna be hot in the playoffs, I think, just like they were last year. And I think everybody was waiting to get to the wild card game just purely because that's when this team turns it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, man. So where can people find you on Twitter at Parker Blake?
Yeah, at Parker Blake 60. That's where all my stuff goes. I got my grades up for the first game against the Ravens. I'll have my grades up for this week's game, hopefully Tuesday mornings. That's when I usually get the film. And yeah, I post all my ramblings and takes and film and whatnot on my Twitter. So that's where you can find me.
Did you play back in the day? You look like a big old lineman, man.
Yeah. So I played throughout my high school career. I had played for a year in college and I just was beaten up and broken. So I decided to just wrap it up and I coach high school football now. So.
Oh, nice, man. How'd you guys do this year? Your team?
I don't even remember how we did. I think we went to the quarters and lost. Oh, we did. We went to the quarters. We played a team that beat the brakes off of us during the regular season. We were hurt. We were sick. We rematched them in the quarterfinals and we lost with like 6 seconds to left. They had a breakaway touchdown. So
every time, man.
I don't know how I forgot that one for a second, but yeah, that was rough. But
well, hey man, I appreciate you coming on, and maybe I get you next week. We can go over what the results, see how much we dominated.
For sure, man. That's always a blast to recap a big win.
All right, man. Let's do it. Thanks again, Parker Blake at Parker Blake 60 on Twitter. Be sure to follow. Thanks for watching the Bengals Genius Show.
Felix, run it up. Man, y'all need to start tuning in to the YouTube channel, the Bengals Genius Show.